Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today, normally we would have a brokers meeting, but because of the holiday tomorrow, there is no brokers meeting. So I came to the office a little bit early today because I wanted to utilize our new media room. And I really like this room. I think it's got a lot of great potential for us who are agents that utilize social media to be able to come in here and have a guest and sit down here with us and we can have a conversation about real estate or whatever the topic might be. Or, there's also a desk here that I could kind of utilize to kind of do like a broadcast of some sort. But today I'm just sitting in one of these chairs, and I wanted to talk about the market in terms of myself as a real estate agent when I'm working with a client, or whether it's a seller or a buyer. There's a majority of different options that I look at to determine what value is. So in the case I'm going to look at, in the case of a seller, if I'm working with a seller, this is one of the reports that I use, which is called the PWR report. It's a local market update. It's put out by PWR, which is the Pacific West Association of Realtors. That's the association that I belong to. This report is usually a month late. So I'm in November right now. So this report that I'm looking at is in October. The report for November will come out around December the 15th, thereabouts. And there's two ways to look at this report. Number one is to look at it by the city of Long Beach. So the city of Long Beach, and it basically is just looking at the market in terms of sales, and it's looking at last year's sales versus 2023, and then it also does the last 12-month rolling. So if I just look at Long Beach and I look at residential sales, in 2022, sales were at a median price of $850, an average price of $1,036,208. But in 2023, the median sales price was $902,500 and $1,080,426. So both of those represent an increase of 6.2% and an increase of 4.3% respectively. If I look at the 12-month rolling, though, the median sales price was at $880, which actually had a reduction of minus 2.2%. And then the average sales price went down to $1,009,893, so a minus 1%. If I also look at the condominiums, so last year in 2022, the median sales price was $472,500, and the average sales price was $541,746. And then in 2023, the mean price was $550,750, and the average was $609,714. Both had a positive growth of 16.6% and 12.5%. And then if I look at the 12-month rolling for condominiums, through October, the price was $515 and $571, which had an increase of 1% and 2%, actually plus 0.2%. So these are numbers, and whether they mean something or not, it means something just so that I can get an idea of what the market might be doing. Now, this is not the only set of data that I look at. Again, looking at this same report, I can also bring it down to zip code. So, for example, I pulled up the 9085 zip code because I've got a listing that is coming up at the beginning of the year. And it just gives me a snapshot. So I'm not going to go through all the numbers, but if I just look at October of 2023, the mean sales price was at $680 in 90805, which had an increase of 8.3%. And the average sales price was $617,947, which had an increase of 7.5%. If I look at the 12-month rolling, you're looking at 660, 659, 614, which had a reduction of 0.4% and minus 2.2%. Again, these are just numbers. There's a lot of numbers here. It may mean or nothing, but I use these reports often when I'm working. I'm trying to come up with comps, or when I'm trying to get an appraisal to go through on a listing of mine. These are not the only reports that I look at. Of course, I look at the comps, daily comps that come out daily for the sales. So when I'm trying to determine a price and whether I'm working with a seller or whether I'm working with a buyer, I utilize these tools so that I can come up with the right number to go to market if I've got a seller that I'm working with, or if I've got a buyer, so that we can put in the right number for the sales price. So this is a little long, so this is going to go on my YouTube channel. I'll try to put this on my Instagram as well, but just note that it's a longer video, so it will go onto YouTube. And you can find me on the YouTube channel. On most of my social media platforms, there's always a link. It's a Linktree link, and that link will take you to all of my social media platforms, as well as YouTube, where you will find this video. So for now, this is Joe Mendez, Coldwell Banker Realty in Long Beach, California, signing off. Have a great day, and of course, have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow.